You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. This Saturday post-game live is brought to you by FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet and you'll get started with $200 back in bonus bets guaranteed. Head on over to FanDuel.com in order to get started. Happy Saturday, if you want to call it that. As always, I'm Grayson Boone, joined by former Wolfpack defensive tackle Kenton Gibbs. Before we do absolutely anything else, because I'm sure this one's going to be an all-timer, thoughts and prayers to Grayson McCall. That was one of the ugliest hits I've seen in quite some time. I hate it for McCall to finally work his way back into a starting position and to have it ripped away from him in seemingly just a couple minutes. That was awful. I don't know how that wasn't flagged on the play. That was pretty clear targeting, at least in my mind. And again, before we do anything else, just want to make sure he is okay. Our thoughts and our prayers are with him and his family. I've seen the early reports on Twitter that supposedly the early indications from the hospital have come back positive. That is very good to hear. Probably the best news that you'll see for the entire rest of the day, because Kenton, now we're going to get into it. What the hell was that? Wake Forest wins 34-30. Our worst fears when you talk about letting a team linger and letting a team stick around for long enough, that is why. That is what we're talking about. You can't lose that game. Not in year 3, not in year 6, and sure as hell not in year 12. You cannot lose to Wake Forest. They are a bad football team, and they outplayed NC State today.
You know, I understand the thought of, hey, that the Grayson McCall play was like a 1 in a million play, and that Grayson McCall play is a 1 in a million play, and it is at minimum a 10-point swing, right? You go from being in a position where you're guaranteed a field goal to, having them basically at the 2-yard line or something like that afterwards. But here's the deal. After that, there was so much game left. I can understand if that's the last play of the game. And even then, you shouldn't have this game come down to the last play of the game.
Never.
There are so many parts of this game that were disappointing. I struggle to find which one I want to address. When this team has played FBS opponents this season, they have not allowed less. They have not allowed less than 31 points until tonight, or until this afternoon, rather. 30 is the lowest they've given up to an FBS team all year through 4 games against FBS opponents. This feels a lot like Boston College, where their defense was getting ransacked by everybody, and all of a sudden, we couldn't figure it out. I am so disappointed and disheartened because everybody wants to put this on one singular thing. But I think that it goes to everything, which means if it goes to everything, it goes to the head guy.
Correct.
I am understanding of, hey, we do not pay the same type of money into the program in terms of how much we're spending per year, what our budget is, that Clemson and Tennessee do. I get it. Hey, that's a different ball game, and you expect an overperformance, but you live with the results there. Wake Forest? At home? Wake Forest? This is and for the folks who said, oh, y'all are upset that they're not winning by enough or they're not winning the right way. This is what we mean. I'm going to get personal here for a minute. 2023 was a terrible year for me personally. A lot of things went wrong. And the thing that I did going forward, I had to look back and say, what went wrong? Okay, great. I, as a human being, am a summation of all my habits. That's who I am. That's who you are as a team. I had to switch from being a guy who says, I'm really smart, I don't really have to work super hard, to I'm smart enough to do it and not work hard. But what if we combine both? What if we switch something up in the game? What if we added something different to become something different? I don't understand how you sit there and, as Dave doing, you look up and you say, every single time on all of our scoring drives, more often than not, you are passing on first downs regularly. The first drive of the game where we had the fumble, there were 1, 2, 3 first downs. Only one of them did you run the ball on, and the first down that you ran the ball on ended up being the one that got you into 3rd and 11. On the second drive where we got a field goal, the first down play of the first down play of the drive, pass by C.J. Bailey. Second, pass by C.J. Bailey. Third, pass by C.J. Bailey. Fourth, pass by C.J. Bailey. Fifth, pass by C.J. Bailey. What are we doing? These are drives that are performing well. The touchdown drive, that was a run by KC. So that's the only time that we saw multiple runs. Or actually, no. Yeah, we saw multiple runs because the next first down play was a run by Jordan Waters. Other than that, in that same drive, pass by C.J. Bailey, another pass by C.J. Bailey, another pass by C.J. Bailey. So why do you get conservative? Why do you play the, oh, man, we got a lead. Let's switch up from what was working. Who was it that said, don't forget who brought you to the dance? We brought the bad and shorty to the dance and abandoned her. We said, oh, she looking too good. You know, she talking to me too nice. I don't want her no more. Why? Why? It is so confusing for me. And again, losses like this are why I am understanding of fans being apathetic towards this program. Losses like this are why I understand people saying, hey, this is terrible. Because how many people look at this season now and say it's a wash? And can you blame them? Can you blame them, Grayson? Because when I look at this team so far this year, we have 3 wins and not a single one. Not a single try against Power 4 teams have we come away with that game with a win. Tennessee, loss. Clemson, loss. Wake, loss. And if the greatest predictor of future behaviors is the past, guess what Syracuse is probably going to be?
Yep.
Guess what Cal is probably going to be? Guess what Stanford's probably going to be? Guess what Duke and Georgia Tech and UNC are all probably going to be? Because you won't play a worse team than Wake all year.
No, that was it. That was it by far.
Terrible. Terrible, man.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. We've already hammered the point home. I'm going to hit it one more time for good measure. You cannot crawl into a turtle shell with a 10-ish point lead in the second half. You cannot just expect your defense to go out there and win you a ball game time after time after, especially not this defense this year, because we've seen far too many cracks in their armor. And just because they had a good performance last week against NIU, yeah, we said, okay, maybe they're starting to come into their own now. Nope. Immediately a no-show against one of the worst teams in the conference. Now, Wake's offense is not the worst part of their team. Their defense is. But you let one of the worst teams in the entire Atlantic Coastal Conference come into Carter Finley and embarrass you. Embarrass you. That can't happen in year 12. That falls squarely on the head of head coach Dave Doeren. You cannot lose this game. Not now, not ever. That's the resounding thought here. We have to start this off. Obviously, we're going to get much deeper into this. I'm going to go ahead and read an ad so I can collect myself. Our first sponsor of our live show is FanDuel. NFL fans, maybe you want to just turn your attention to the NFL because college football feels a little rough right now. You can get a big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. When you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view the live play-by-play, and so much more on the very same page that you're placing your bets. When you, you'll get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Head on over to FanDuel.com in order to get started. All right. Should we talk about some of the good, Kenton? Because I'm sure we're going to harp on the bad for the majority of the show. The good. I thought CJ Bailey played an excellent first half. He did all you could really ask him to do. Outside of, which is not really CJ's fault, screenplays to Kevin Concepcion. I guess we're just going to roll right back into the bad. Can we please stop throwing screenplays to Casey Concepcion? It's not working. The defense knows it's coming. I want to shake the camera here. They know it's coming. When you put Casey in motion, they know what's about to happen. And yet, time and time again, we're just pounding the ball into him for a gain of 1 or a loss of 4. Enough. I've had enough of the screenplays. Outside of that, I promise you, I want to touch on some good here. I'm not going to harp the whole time. Kendrick Raphael, that's your RB1. Jordan Waters, not consistent enough to get it done. I'm sorry. Kendrick Raphael should be your RB1. I thought he ran angry when he scored that touchdown, even a couple of plays before that. That is your RB1. That is the intensity and toughness we need to see from an NC State running back. The O-line, I thought as a whole, today might have been their best performance so far. I thought they did pretty well. I thought they did pretty well of a job. Now, there is something to be said that Wake's defense, it's Swiss cheese. They're not good. So perhaps that's why they played well. I guess we're going to have to wait and find out later in the season. But O-line was okay. I was impressed with Kendrick Raphael. I was impressed overall with CJ Bailey outside of that very last throw of the game, PU. Wide receivers. We did free Granny. I guess that's a small silver lining of the day. Granny is out of the cage. We got Justin Jolie into the end zone. Far too long overdue. But I mean, you look at early in that game when you're feeding Jolie, and you can even add Noah Rogers to that conversation. When you're feeding two of your best pass catchers, you're moving the ball down the field. Who could have thunk that would be the case? Who could have thunk it? Two of the most talented players that you brought into this program to be exactly that are some of the main reasons that your offense experienced success. Imagine that. SpongeBob meme. Imagination. Think about that for a second.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm very confused about in this game, right? I look at this team and I say to myself, offensively, why do we go away from what works?
Why?
And here's the part that I mean by why do we go away from what works? KC was open multiple times in terms of down the field. The double move on that fake screen I can't remember who we were faking the screen to, but he was the blocker in that one that was faking the block and then took off on the wheel up the sideline. He was open. I'm not mad at CJ Bailey for not hitting him because, again, he's a freshman. He probably, the game is still very fast to him. And then his internal clock is like, oh, I got to get rid of this. I got to look somewhere else. Sure. Later we go to KC. He drops it. I'm okay with that. The same way I'm okay with a guy missing a tackle here and there because football is a hard game to play. Let's not pretend like this is easy. I'm okay with KC dropping the pass there, but he's open. Why are you not continuing to look for him downfield instead of on all these screens? And then you talk about and you look at, well, the passing in terms of to all the other players is going well. It's going well. Why did we stop it late in the second half? You're having success pushing the ball downfield. You're having success. When you look at the touchdown drive, I want to say we had one touchdown drive where it wasn't predominantly us pushing the ball downfield. One.
Right.
Why are we not? Why are we not saying the everything else we had, the last touchdown drive of the game, which got us the 10-point lead, that was the one where you throw it to Jolie. The one before that was the Kendrick Raphael drive where CJ Bailey pulls it down and gets 8. Kendrick Raphael gets 2 to pick up the first. Kendrick Raphael gets another first, runs angry on first down, and on second down takes it home. Every other drive we had with points, that's what happened. And this is the reason that I say it's on Dave, because again, and I know we're supposed to be talking positives, and it's like it feels like I'm talking negative even in talking positive. But after a game like this, even the positives feel like negative. So but let me just try to stick to just the positive. the pass catchers have still looked good. Every single game, the pass catchers have looked good. They have looked really good. I have not seen a single game where I'm like, I mean, hey, guys got to get open. Last year, there were times where it's like, hey, I mean, Brennan's not great, but guys aren't getting open. Guys not named KC, not getting open. Guys are getting open this year. In this game, the offensive line, I believe, was consistent. I believe the offensive line was consistently good throughout this game.
Yeah.
The only problem is you're running the ball on 1st and 10 when they have an 8-man box.
That was my problem. Yes.
You mathematically speaking, you cannot account for 8 men with 6 to block. The quarterback is giving the ball, so they're eliminated. The running back is holding the ball, so he's eliminated. You're 3 wide, so now you've just taken away 5 guys.
Yep.
How many do you have left? 6. Now, Grayson, is 8 more than 6?
Sure is not. Okay,
so you got every gap accounted for and 2 extra men. What the hell do you think you're going to run into then?
Exactly.
Like they ran the ball well. They did their jobs well when they were put in positions to succeed. So I give the offensive line their credit. And the last thing that I'll say, which was a positive, welcome back to the party, Aiden White. Welcome back, bro. He looked phenomenal. He looked like the Aiden we were expecting. And not only did he look phenomenal in terms of his play between the whistles, after that, his energy was there at a level that I had not seen.
Yeah.
I had not seen that level of energy from Aiden White so far this year. He looked phenomenal in this game. There is something off in the water. There's something with the vibes that just things aren't meshing right. And by the way, I saw somebody say Dave's going to win 6 games, get us to a bowl game, and convince everybody he's good again or save his job. That's good enough to keep his job, sure. That's not enough to convince everybody that we're okay. The future is very bright with Anderson and Jackson, and hopefully you get to keep Concepcion, and Paylor comes along, and you've got all these guys and these weapons, and Bailey gets better, for sure. But why are we always the team of the future? Why are we always the team of hypotheticals? I want to be Mr. Right now. I am telling you from personal experience, when you're always a guy of the future and these things are going to happen in the future, players start leaving because they know it's fool's gold. Fans start becoming apathetic because they know it's fool's gold. You can get mad at the fans all you want and say, oh, the fans got to stay around. They got to support. They got to da-da-da-da. What do you just lost to the worst team for the rest of your schedule. What do you expect the fans to do? What is it exactly that you expect the fans to believe? If Wake Forest played any of the teams we have left on our schedule, do you think Wake would be favored against Syracuse, Grayson?
No.
Cal?
No.
Stanford?
Maybe. That's probably a pick 'em.
Okay. Duke?
Probably not.
Georgia Tech?
No.
Dirty Foot Club?
No.
So you just ran off 5 losses in the pick 'em. Again, it's not on the fans. It's not on the fans. It's on this team. And again, it's on Dorm more than anybody else. And I say this all the time on Locked On ACC, and I'll say it here. No fluff pieces, no hit pieces. We're just telling you what it is.
Yeah.
And in year 12, if we still have not learned, you know what? I've got a 10-point lead, but throwing on first down has been what has got us to the dance. I see an 8-man box. Either we are going to give the quarterback the ability to check out of this, we're going to run an RPO, or we're going to say, you know what? To hell with it. Blow the timeout. But I don't want to put myself behind the sticks to where I need 11, 12 on third down. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I do it? Because then if you do that to yourself, you put yourself in a situation where you're so backed up, you're so down bad in terms of, hey, how much time do we have left and what's the situation? Even if CJ Bailey didn't throw an interception on that first play, what do you look at in terms of like, hey, what's your win probability in that situation? How comfortable are you in that situation? Instead of being up 10 and saying, you know what, let's keep going for it. Let's keep going for it. The drive before the touchdown by Wake Forest goes as follows. 1 yard run by Waters, 7-yard completion to Anderson, incompletion. Now just imagine what happens if you flip those two plays. Completion to Anderson on first down for 7 yards. Now you're in 2nd and 3. Now you've got options. Now the defense is confused. They don't know what's coming.
Right.
But instead, we end up where we end up every time.
In a game of coaching miscues, for the majority of this game, I thought Dave Clawson for Wake Forest called a pretty pitiful game. They completely abandoned the run in this game. And there was a point where Damon Claiborne, the running back, he was averaging like 9 yards a carry. And they had completely put the game in the hands of Bachmeier, who had not even a great game. We made him struggle. He only completed half of his passes. He was 50%. He did throw an ugly pick. They didn't have a great game, so to speak. But in the end of that game, when NC State got super conservative, they ran for it on 1st and 10 and only collected 1 yard. That's where you see the big-time coaching discrepancies that we have. Conservative play and crawling into your turtle shell, it will not work. Because then, what did we see Dave Clawson do? He started coaching to win. They were going for it on multiple 4th downs and called pretty good plays because they converted every single one of them.
Yeah.
That is how you win a game. You are aggressive in putting your foot on the neck of your opponent. That is how you win football games, not turtling and having blind faith into your defense. Defense is another thing I want to talk about. Pitiful effort today. Pitiful. Not being able to get off of the field at the end of that ball game. That was the ultimate bigger picture issue of how you lost that game. It was not CJ Bailey. It was not even the running backs. It was not the offensive line. Certainly was not your pass catchers and Justin Jolie. Your defense and coaching, play calling, that is how you lost the game. It wasn't the refs. It wasn't the McCall fumble, the no call on that fumble. It was not any of that. NC State's defense got outplayed. NC State was outcoached. And that is how you lose in the most embarrassing fashion we could think of.
But I want to take it a step further. I don't even think they were outcoached defensively. I don't think they were outcoached. And let me tell you why I don't think they were outcoached. On almost every touchdown drive of Wake Forest in the second half, there was a turnover-worthy play. There was a turnover-worthy play. There was a play where our guys had their hands on the football, and they did not complete it. 2 of those drives they did, and this is what I mean by it's everything, and the vibes are off. Because if we get points on either one of those turnovers in the fourth quarter, we would have been fine. But let's take it a step further. If Caden Fordham intercepts that ball on the screen, we're looking at a whole different ball game.
And not to put him on blast, how many picks is Caden Fordham going to drop this year?
The forced fumble that pops out. Four guys with NC State hats, 1 guy with a Wake Forest hat. Who comes up with the ball?
Yeah.
We are getting right there. We are getting right there. But when it's winning time, you got to make some winning damn plays.
Yeah.
When it's winning time, you've got to say to yourself, me securing this football for our offense in a position where they'll score it doesn't matter if they lose a yard or 2. We will score a point if we get it right here. Is more important than I could go score a touchdown right now. I could go score a touchdown. Making the play, taking away the football is the most important thing. That's what should matter the most. That's what it should be. And to sit here and have these moments consistently where, again, players are schemed in the right place. We just give them an extra play, give them an extra drive. When you drop a pick, you are giving a team an extra drive. Make no bones about that.
Yep.
That is what you have de facto done there. When you drop a fumble, you are giving a team another drive because that's your ball going the other way. Again, everything about this team, the vibes are just, it's something there. It's something that just is not clicking. It's not happening. It's not working in a way that it should Because by all accounts, I'm pretty sure we went like 4 or 5 of 6 against the Keys in this game.
It was pretty close.
We still didn't, it's always something. It's always something. We're right there on the precipice and you don't win. And in a game like this, you shouldn't be on the precipice against a team that before tonight or before this afternoon had not beaten a single FBS team. Not one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They had not beaten a single Power 4 team coming into this game. Oh, no, FBS, period. NCAA was their only win before this.
Yeah.
This is on everybody. This ain't on offense. This ain't on defense. This is on, how the NCAA, when they found out there's a big scandal, they slapped the head coach with lack of institutional control. Well, Doran, it's time for you to get slapped with lack of institutional motivation, lack of institutional aggressiveness to win a ball game. Because here it goes again. 4th and 9. We can't get off the field against Wake Forest. You give me flashbacks to 2018. I'm back there again, seeing 4th and long, and we can't get off the field. So, it's everybody at this point. And if it's everybody, then it's really one person at the top because you're who it's always going to roll downhill to.
Home losses to Wake Forest may or may not be the actual death of me because I am getting sick of this. You talked about Wake Forest struggling to, compete against FBS teams. They're going to struggle the rest of this year to find wins against FBS opponents. Wake Forest, I don't know how many times I can emphasize this. Wake Forest is a bad football team, and they just walked into Carter Finley and beat NC State. What does that say about NC State? Yeah. We're all thinking it. Go ahead and jump in. Go ahead.
At this point, you got to accept it. At this point, here's the thing. We got to stop talking about this team can beat everybody. And the games like this are the exact reason why I have said all year, every game is the most important because we're not good enough to look ahead. We're not good enough to talk about ACC championship. And I didn't know it after the Tennessee game. I didn't know I didn't know it before the Tennessee game, rather. Let me say that. I didn't know it before the Tennessee. After we saw Tennessee, I was right there. As soon as I saw that game, I said, either Tennessee is the greatest college football team I've ever seen, or we're not there yet. And 90% of me was already with the we're not there. We're not there. I knew it. I said Western Carolina could be an aberration. Us struggling against them, it could be an aberration. And then I saw Tennessee, and I said, now. Again, this is not Tennessee doing amazing things on every play. It's us making it easy on them. In this game, same thing. It's us making it easy on them, and you get what you get.
We've wondered if NC State is a good team or a bad team. You might just have your answer right about now. Jumping into our second live ad read of our Saturday post game, that is Gametime. Gametime has a new feature called Gametime Picks. It makes getting tickets for your favorite live events easier than ever before. Gametime Picks filters out all of the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, and you won't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Gametime Picks curation makes it easier to save more on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, you name it, they got it. Toggling their all-in pricing feature on the app will show your total up front so you receive zero surprises at checkout. And as always, you get that panoramic view of your seat in the app before you buy so you know exactly what to expect upon arrival. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. And again, create an account and use redeem code LOCKEDONCollege, LOCKEDONCOLLEGE, Locked On College for $20 off. Download Gametime today. What time is it? You already know. It's game time. All right. Last couple minutes here of our Saturday post-game live show. Wake Forest embarrasses the Wolfpack of NC State 34-30. PU, man. I mean, just to hammer this point again, you cannot let teams, any team, especially not Wake Forest type of a team, linger. You cannot let them linger. I don't know how concise I could be about this point. When you turtle and you get conservative, you allow the other team repetitive chances to beat you. For any baseball fans in here, when your team is on defense and you drop a foul pop fly, foul territory, a lot of times the team on offense will say, oh, that's a new life to the batter, meaning you get another chance to right the wrong you just did. That is what we just did for Wake Forest. We handed them so many opportunities to beat us at the end of this game. And finally, Wake Forest said, you know what? I'll take you up on that. Here's another 4th down conversion. Oh, one more for you, actually. 2 more 4th down conversions. Why stop here? We'll go ahead and score and embarrass you in front of your home crowd. This can't happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And I want to make something clear here. I don't understand for the life of me. This is what I am going to say. And I need this to be very, very clear. I need this to be very, very clear. It is always, 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 if we have the talent, going to be about NC State. Always. Always. I am fine with admitting outgunned, outmanned, I'm fine with admitting that. You were outmanned against Wake Forest. You were outgunned against Wake Forest. You were like, if that's what we're saying, then that's what we're saying. But I just need to hear out loud, you were outgunned and outmanned against Wake Forest. It's very clear to me that this team, let me not say it's very clear. It's very unclear to me what we are doing as a team at times, because we have things that work and we go away from them and don't come back. I don't understand it. Was Noah Rogers hurt or something in the second half?
Not to my knowledge.
What happened? Was Terrell Anderson okay?
Certainly was.
Did we hear anything on the injury report about KC? Because I look at this and I say, why don't you get the ball to those guys who've been making impacts all game? Why? And again, this is with all due respect to the guys who did get the ball out. This is with all due respect to the guys who did touch the ball. It doesn't make sense. With all due respect to Jordan Waters, 10 carries, 33 yards, long of 9. 3 receptions, 36 yards, long of 14. Okay? So on 13 carries, we got 70 or 69 yards out of him. Okay. Justin Jolie, 4 receptions, 73 yards, a touchdown. Why would he only get the ball 4 times? Noah Rogers, 5 receptions, 45 yards. Why are we not getting it to the guys who can make the plays, who have repetitively proven we will make plays for you if you give us the opportunity? Why are you – and again, this is why I say it's about NC State, because why are you running the ball against the 8-man box if you don't have a heavy set end? Why? The minute you see that, hey, timeout. Hey, we need to run something else. Give your quarterback the option to go into something else. But here we are. Here we are. So, it's a disappointing result. It's a disappointing moment. It just really begs the question of how many games are you going to give where you say, I'm not going to do what's winning us the game, and you think we'll be okay?
Yeah.
Defensively, how many times are we going to be, oh, man, we were this close. We were there. Oh, we were almost there. We were almost, everybody's in their gap. This one guy misses the tackle. Oh, we dropped 1 interception, dropped a fumble. How many times are we going to do it until we realize, well, damn, you know what? Maybe I don't need a pick 6. The touchdown in the corner, number 5 from Wake Forest, Moss 2 of our defenders. Why are you going for an interception on 3rd and long at their kicker's max range? If you knock the ball away, guess what you're going to give the team? Because if you intercept that ball, you're going down in the end zone anyway. Gives you the ball at the 25. If you knock it down and they miss that field goal, what happens? You get the ball at about the 30, 35? What's happening? What's not clicking to hey, this is the play I need to make. This is the play for the team. This ain't about me. It's the play for the team.
Yeah, and Kenton, I want to connect one of your ideas to what Drew Pierce says on the screen. KC has 10 catches for 26 yards the past 2 games. How is that possible? Number one, the majority of these are screens. Please, I've already said it like 20 minutes ago. Enough of the screens. It is so entirely predictable. We are telegraphing it to that point. We're telegraphing to the other team, here comes KC in motion. Wonder what we're about to do. It's another screenplay, loss of 3. Enough. He is one of your most talented and electric athletes on the team. Get him down the field. He's a slot receiver. Throw a slant. It can be literally as simple as that. How many times did a simple slant work for KC last year? It could be that simple. And getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers, you talked about Noah Rodgers, 7 targets, 5 of them were caught for 45 yards. He needs more. Every single time he caught the ball, it was nearly a first down. He averaged 9 yards a catch. Nearly a first down every time he catches the ball. Justin Jolie finally got in the end zone today, but it took us begging and pleading for 6 weeks to do it. Granny's free, but Granny is concerned about the validity of this offense. He needs to get the ball more. Terrell Anderson and Keenan Jackson, 2 young freshman wide receivers. I've been impressed by them. I need to see more of that. I also can't leave out Wesley Grimes playing against the Deacs. I am heartbroken for Wesley that we could not get it done because I'm sure that's on some level a bit embarrassing. He had a great game as well. Feed the guys who make the plays. I'm tired of talking about it. We're 6 weeks in and we're still having to pound the desk for this. If you continue to dabble around and continually run out plays that do not work, quarterback draws, screens for KC, 1-yard runs on 1st and 10, you're going to continue to see results like this. You're not maximizing the talent of the guys that you brought into this program. You're not maximizing the literal reason you brought them here. That is infuriating. And again, to another one of Kenton's points, if you're upset by this, you should be. You should be. We all should be. This team is underperforming on a ridiculous level right now. And now you're a 3-3 football team. Still no source of identity. Perhaps the identity is that we're just soft. Maybe that's the conclusion we have now. We're just a soft football team. We're going to beat ourselves. Perhaps that is what it is. I don't know.
By the way, fun fact, I believe either his longest or second longest reception of the day for KC came on a drag route. Just get him the ball in front of the line of scrimmage. That's it. Get him the ball in front of the line of scrimmage. You don't have to do anything special or crazy. You don't have to find ways to and scheme up all these crazy ways. The one that he dropped would have been his longest. But again, you have to find ways to get him the ball downfield. And did you see how when you opened it up with Rodgers and Grimes, all of a sudden KC came open more? Who could have thought? Who could have told you that spreading the ball around was going to make that guy be in a better position? Who could have thought that? That's so interesting. Such a novel idea. Again, this is a game where, regardless of what you believe about all of NC State's other losses this season, there's not a world where you can tell me that, hey, Wake Forest is a much better team than you, and they'll beat you 10 times out of 10. There's not a world where you can tell me that.
No.
There's not. So, again, this team, I've said all I can say and all I want to say about it at this point, because if I say something else, I'm going to lose our clean rate.
Yeah.
And certainly it's just very –
Go ahead.
It's just a very embarrassing game. It's a very embarrassing game. There's no easy way to say, yeah, we lost to a team playing their first road game all season that had not beaten an FBS team, not Power 4, not Power 4. They couldn't even beat a Group of 4 team earlier this year. Just us. We're the first ones. And we may be the only ones they beat this year. So we'll have that distinction going for us.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us here on our Saturday post-game live. A lot more thinking to do, a lot more thunking to do. Perhaps you want to replace the TH with a DR because that was a brutal loss. Don't know where we go from here. NC State slides down to 3-3, 34-30 lost at the hands of the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Yeah, that's all we're going to give you today because I got to go figure out how to spend the rest of my weekend after that monstrosity. Thank you all for joining us. As always, we really appreciate every single one of you that jumps in these post-game lives with us. Be sure to hit that like button, drop your comments in the comment box. I'm fully expecting a record number of comments on this live show because, yeah, you get it. Mash that subscribe button if you have not already, and we'll see you right back here on Monday for more unpacking what an ugly loss this was. We'll see you then. Until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.